to the Point of Impact podcast with Rick McDaniel. Thanks for joining us today. Get ready to be inspired and motivated to live a high-impact life. Now, here's Rick.
Welcome to the Point of Impact podcast. I'm Rick McDaniel. It's great to have you joining with us again today. And I had mentioned last week I was going to do an episode on leadership, inspirational leadership. I'm going to wait one more week on that. I'm going to do something today that I've just been sitting on for a while. I read an article where this guy talked about why some people don't reach higher, Barton Goldsmith, and it got me just thinking about why do people not pursue their dreams? And so we're going to do 10 reasons why you're not pursuing your dreams. I think this can be super helpful because really, the full title will be 10 reasons why you're not pursuing your dreams and what you need to do. What you need to do about that, about each of those so that you can pursue your dreams. But I've talked about this a lot. I've spoken on dreams, but I never really dug into I've referenced it, but not like this, 10 entire reasons like why people don't pursue their dreams. So this is going to be a good one. I just working on it this week and putting it all together. I just really got excited. Like this, I think can help a lot of people. I hope you share this episode with other folks, your friends and people that you go to school with or your colleagues, maybe longtime friends, maybe new friends, people that you go to church with, folks that really need to pursue their dreams. And maybe it's one of these issues that's kind of holding them back. So we'll get into that in just a moment. I've also mentioned about the website, had a meeting this week, and looks like we're going to be a little more delayed on that, trying to really doing a fairly significant redo of the site. I think it's going to be great when it comes out, but it's going to take a little bit longer. We are going to add, though, onto, in the meantime, very soon, probably by the time you listen to this, it should be done. A new section if you want to book me for speaking at a church or an event or a conference doing a keynote message, maybe something like the Greater Sunday, come in and speak in the morning to the church, in the evening do leadership training, or maybe a greater day at your company or business or corporation. And also consulting and coaching that I do as well, both of those things. So it's easier for you to ask and get a quick response. It'll go right to my assistant, Terry, and she'll be able to respond with if we're available or available dates, or if we can meet your needs, we'd be happy to do it if we possibly can, but just a little more direct approach. So if you're interested in that, or you work for someone, or you are in a church or whatever it might be, you can pass that along. But I do think that'll be a good interim step before we, to make it easier. That's what we've heard. Make it easier to just be able to get information and line stuff up. And so we definitely want to do that. And then the new website will just really be easy to do that, as well as lay everything out. But I'm very excited about this greater message. As I've said before, I think it's a phenomenal message, how to live a greater life. I have several different versions of it that I can share. They're all, I think, fantastic, and I would love to come and share that. And by the way, the book Greater, if you don't have it, you absolutely should get a copy of the book Greater Daily Inspiration to Increase Your Faith. This book, if you're looking for just like a daily dose of inspiration about how you can live the greater life, man, it is definitely the way to go. It's very inexpensive. It's like a $15 book. And then each day for 100 days, you can start your day. In a matter of like 3 minutes of reading, you can start your day with just powerful inspiration and motivation and encouragement to live the greater life that God wants you to live. Not the get by life, not the good enough life, but the greater life. So if you don't have it, pick up a copy, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. You can go to rickmcdaniel.com, order a copy straight from us. Be happy to sign it for you. If you want a signed copy, be able to do that as well. But get greater. It's really helpful and such a valuable part of your life, and just what you need to just stay on track And again, it's just 3 minutes a day. In over 100 days, you'll have read an entire book, but you've done it just in 3-minute intervals. So take advantage of it. All right, so 10 reasons why you're not pursuing your dreams. Why don't we? Why don't we pursue our dreams? When it comes to achieving our dreams, what's stopping us? And I'm going to give you 10 reasons why I think people, you, are not taking your shot at happiness. And you should be. You absolutely, positively should be. Why aren't you? All right, you ready? Here we go. You've been conditioned by life. Daily living convinces us humanity's greatest need, social survival, is also each person's greatest achievement. Wrong. Collectively correct. Individually incorrect. The result then is that we slowly, unknowingly change to not achieve, but just survive. And there's an enormous difference between thriving and surviving. You thrive when you're pursuing your dreams and seeing your dreams come true. So we get by, we do what we must, we do as well as we can. Play our roles in life, do our job, get along with others as much as possible. But here's the thing. The dreams we had as children, we learn to no longer believe. Wow. It's hard to hear. It's hard to say. It's really saddening. But I believe that this is at the start. I've put this, the number 1 and number 10, number 2 through 9, maybe somewhat interchangeable, but 1 and 10 are there for a reason, to start with and to finish with. And I just believe that this life will condition you this way. And if you don't notice it, if you don't say, oh, hold on a minute, what's happening to me slowly, unknowingly, I'm changing, I'm getting conditioned. You don't want that to happen to you. And that's the first thing that you've got to be able to identify. The dreams you had, you should still be believing those dreams. You should not. I just saw an interview with Tom Cruise with, the new movie that's out. And he was talking about that at like 4 years old. Like, he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to live this adventurous life. He wanted to travel around the world. He wanted to make movies. He wanted to experience life fully and full of adventure. And I've talked about that before as well, because I believe that's the way we are to live. And look at what the guy's done. Like, he's made his dreams come true, and God has certainly blessed him, no doubt about that. But the dreams he had as a 4-year-old, he didn't stop believing them. He's still believing them, even to this day. All right, second reason, your assumptions become your limits. So too often we say no to ourselves before anyone or anything else even gets a chance to. I think because we're afraid of what may possibly happen. The fear thing's huge in this. You're going to hear me talk about it several times. But you won't know what's possible until you actually show up. Stop predetermining, saying no to yourself before anyone or anything else even gets a chance to say no. You just stop it. You assume. You don't know what's possible. So start the business. Approach your boss. Write the book. Send the email. Whatever. Whatever the risk is that you're afraid to take, it just might be the one that changes everything in your life. Stop letting fear call the shots. You could say it another way. Let reality speak for itself. Let reality speak for itself. Don't predetermine it. Don't let your assumptions become your limits and predetermine the outcome. Bet on yourself. Go for it, pursue your dream, and let reality speak for itself and see what happens. It's such a better approach to take than to predetermine the outcome by not pursuing what you need to pursue. All right, third reason, You told yourself what won't work. Okay, this is linked. These are linked over and over again, consciously and unconsciously. You've told yourself what does not work. Now listen to this, because this is huge. You have learned to automatically believe the worst first and the best last. Way too many people, this is the situation. It's believing the worst first and the best last. That's not how you're to live your life. Don't believe the worst first and the best last. Believe the best first and the worst last. We've got it mixed up. It does not have to be the best is last and the worst is first. It does not have to be that way. It can in fact be the best is first and the worst is last. You can start right now, and do something about it. You can decide today, listening to this podcast episode, I'm going after it. I am going after it. Enough of this. It's not going to work. Jettison the cannots in your life. You know, the cannot, the can'ts, the cannots. Get rid of them. Ignore the nudges of self-doubt, the fear of failures, the discomfort of the uncomfortable. Say, no, I'm not going to let the nudges of self-doubt, the fear of failure, and the discomfort of the uncomfortable. I'm going to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I'm not going to let self-doubt stop me. I'm not going to let the fear of failure cause me to go, no, it won't work. Shouldn't even try. Won't work. Can't happen. Yes, it can. It can happen. It absolutely, positively can happen. Don't tell yourself ahead of time what won't work. All right, fourth, you're too shy to ask. Whether it's asking someone out on a date or asking your boss for a promotion, many people are just too shy to actually approach another human being. Now, it's never been easy to do, but listen, these days, when so much of our communication happens virtually, it seems that such little takes place in face-to-face, and especially requests. So watch what happens. It's simply harder. This is just a fact. It's harder to say no in person than it is to simply not return a text or an email. You see how this works? You're making it easier for people to say no to you. It's a lot harder to look you in the face and tell you no. Also, person to person gives you a chance to make your case, which is huge. I used to say to my staff for years, make your case. Whenever they wanted to do something, make your case. I'll listen, make it. And if you can convince me, we'll do it. A lot harder to do that, any sort of back and forth with texting or email. And it's not that you can't go back and forth, but there's no way there's the same depth of conversation. It's just, you know how many words you can speak versus how much you can type and write? I mean, there's just no comparison in terms of time and speed. So get in front of people. Take the risk of asking. Jesus said, you have not because you ask not. I mean, that is as simple as it gets. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You've got to ask, of which the answer can be three things: no, not yet, or yes. Not yet, by the way, is better than no. Many people think they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. Not yet just means not now. That doesn't mean not ever. All right, here's another reason. You feel you don't deserve it. You have doubts about your worthiness when it comes to life and relationships. And if that's the case, then you need to take a long look at yourself internally. What are the negative messages that you're sending to yourself? What are you saying about yourself? Are you saying things like, it never goes right for me, that's just my luck, I'm just not, and then fill in the blank, I can't seem to get, fill in the blank. These are the sort of things, I never have enough time, when will I ever learn, I'm just no good, things just aren't working out for me. Why do you believe that you're not good enough? And asking yourself, this question, do I deserve it, helps you to really develop some positive alternative thoughts so that you can come to a place where you say, I do deserve to see my dreams fulfilled. I deserve to be happy. Yes. And so you can turn it around and stop telling yourself, I never get the break, and that's impossible, and there's no way, and I'll never get it right. These sorts of phrases are not the way that God wants you to live your life. I can tell you that for absolute certain. All right, here's another reason. And again, going along with this, these are linked together like earlier, the other two. You question your ability. You may not be able to ask for what you want. You may feel you don't deserve it. But what about the fact that are you up for the task? So even if you can ask for it and you believe you deserve it, let's just say you can get past those two. Can you get past this one? I'm up for the task. Maybe you just think you don't have the talent or the leadership ability to get it done. So even if you can get past those other two, and those are, a lot of people are stopped there, but then this is the one that stops you. But here's the truth, okay? Most people learn on the fly. In my life, I have started 7 different organizations. I did not know I had that kind of, say, entrepreneurial ability until well into it upon reflection and looking back. You just have to dive in and expect that you will make mistakes along the way. Hopefully not too many, but certainly a few. That's just how it works. That's how it is. When you attempt to do something that you have never done before, guess what? It's not easy. And so, mistakes will be made. But that doesn't mean you don't have the ability. And I have worked with so many, many, many people through the years. And I mean many. I want to say, I can certainly say thousands, but even if we're just talking very specifically about pursuing dreams, certainly hundreds and hundreds. And no one felt they were totally ready or prepared. And again, if you read like books like Phil Knight about Nike or Elon Musk and Tesla and his many other companies, you'll see people who just went for it. And they learned on the fly and they made mistakes, but they got it right. Eventually they got it right. And you can too. All right, here's another reason. You don't think you have the time. Most people who say successfully start their own business begin working on it in their spare time. They don't leave their present job. They work on it in evenings, and they work on it the weekends. Now, this means that, you're going to spend less time in front of the television, and you're not going to be up on all the latest streaming series or whatever. But hey, and you might miss some other things too. Now, some people draw a line like me, like during football season. I know a guy who's a phenomenal, prolific author. He pumps out books like as many as anyone you'd know, nonfiction, not fiction books. A little easier to pump those out faster, but nonfiction. But will not write during football season. Okay. But I mean, look, let's not look for the exception. Evenings, weekends, you spend your extra time building your dream. I mean, basically anything, you want bad in life, it's worth the extra work to achieve it. It's not going to happen overnight. So you're going to have to do something that you're not doing right now to get what you want. You got to do differently than what you're doing right now. And of course, no one has ever been successful in anything without a lot of hard work. When I did my very first of the 7, which was starting a church, I worked between 80 and 90 hours a week. Now listen, for years, not for a year, for years. And then when we finally reached the level of success that we could build a building, then I had another incredible time of work between all the regular responsibilities plus my new responsibility of building a building from scratch and going to all these construction meetings and all the stuff. I mean, it's if you want to do it, you can do it, but it's going to take work. But listen, don't say you don't have enough time. We always make time for what's important to us. Write that one down. You'll always make time for what's important to you. If your dreams are important enough, you can make the time. Or here's another reason. You think there's someone better than you. Yeah. I mean, there will always be someone who has more money, has higher degrees, has a greater experience, it's got a better personality, whatever you want to put in there. But they're not the same as you. You bring your own unique set of talents, skills, your personal vision, your unique vision, your values to any situation or person that you're involved with. I mean, you are unique. So this somebody's better than me based on, what criteria now? Trust that what you have is as good as it gets. You can go for it because you're confident in who you are. Again, you're betting on yourself. That doesn't mean that you're the only talented person. Yes, there are some amazing people out there. Again, just seeing that interview with Tom Cruise, the guy's like a mega star. You're just like, how is this guy able to do all the stuff he does? Obviously, there's a unique set of talents there, but he has his weaknesses, as we all do. Certainly been able to overcome them, and you can overcome yours too. And again, in the meantime, it's just not worrying about your weaknesses, but playing to your strengths. Build on your strengths. Don't compare your weaknesses to somebody else's strengths, your strengths. And you know what? Someone better than you, not your concern. Just go for it. All right, here's one, and I think there's legitimacy in this. You're trying to keep a low profile, and here's what I mean. You You may think like, I really shouldn't try to stand out. But what's really behind that? Like I'm an introvert and that's what it is, or which it may be, or is it because like, you're kind of, fear, like afraid that you might get hurt or get picked on in some way? Because it's true, successful people can become targets. I know all about it. Oh my goodness, I know all about it. I could tell story after story after story about it. They become targets for people that are angry, that are miserable, that are misguided, that somehow you make them feel inferior to you, and on and on and on and on. The list can go for why people are the way they are. But here's the thing. Does this mean that, somehow harm is going to come your way if you're successful? That's a myth that was started by people who were too scared to pursue their dreams. That's what the people who haven't pursued their dreams are saying, so you won't pursue yours. That's the truth. That's the bottom line right there. Don't buy into that. Or let that stop you from pursuing what you want to pursue. Like, this is going to happen. Very well may not happen at all. And even if it does, and I live in that world, I understand it. It's not, what has it ever really done in my life? Been a few things that have maybe been unpleasant, but most of the time it's just noise. It's not anything. You got the talent. You have the gifts, you have the energy, you have the dream. Don't let anyone talk you out of it, and certainly don't talk yourself out of it. All right, here's the last one. I told you the first one and the last one would bookend it. Here it is. You don't trust God with your future. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I will bless you with a future filled with hope. A future of success, not suffering. Pretty good. God gave you the dream. You didn't just come up with it on your own. God planted it in your heart. And He wants to fulfill it. But you have to do your part in that process. So what is your part? It's stepping out in faith. It's not going to be guaranteed. It's not going to be certain. That's not what faith is. It's the evidence of things that you're hoping for, the things you haven't seen. It's going for it. It's choosing faith over fear. It's saying, I'm not going to let fear stand in the way of the marvelous life that God has for me. What God knows is that there are people who need you to pursue your dream, because fulfilling your dream is going to help and bless their lives. And if you don't do it, they're going to miss out. In some way, their life will not be what God wants it to be, because your life is not what He wants your life to be. They need what you can offer. So the response is to go for it. To reach higher than you're living right now. To live the dream that you have. To trust God with your future. And believe that He has a marvelous future of success, not suffering. A future filled with hope. That you can, in fact, take your shot at happiness and experience a happy life because you're living out your dream. This is what God wants for you, what He wants for me, what He wants for all of us. And so many are not pursuing their dreams for one of these 10 reasons or multiple of these 10 reasons, whatever it is. Decide today, you know what? I'm going to do something about that. starting today. Have a great week.
You've been listening to the Point of Impact podcast with Rick McDaniel. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to you joining us for our next episode.